E, čekaj samo da vidim da li mi sve radi, slušalice, u stvari, jel ti imaš, čekaj da ugasim ovo moje. Šta je sa tvojim mikrofonom, ne čujem te. Dobro, ništa, ti onda koristi chat, ja ću to da vidim na drugom ekranu, a ja ću da vidim o čemu se radi. Ok. Jel možemo da pređemo na engleski da, pošto imam neke drugare, imam Simona, Honara i ostale drugare koji bi to možda mogli da isprate na engleskom. Ok, može. Okay, from now on, I have my colleague Vesna online, but she's having trouble with microphone. She sent me a door. This one. Okay, she sent me a door, and she wants to adapt this door in Rayclon, but with depth of the frame and the height, so full customization and to be able to open the door. Vesna, jel vidiš ovaj ekran? Vidiš, ok. Let me just check the preparation she sent me. Okay. Okay, you separate everything for me, right? Okay, we don't need everything separate like this. Let me just check the pivots. Okay, the pivots is also all around. Okay, we'll just inspect this door. Okay. This is your model or so you download it from somewhere. Okay. The first thing we need is to check the pivots, and usually I do the reset X form for Rayclon, so to get back everything. And then you can collapse everything. We'll manage the pivot later. You can go with just 2 parts. Let's say so we'll take the door, the hinge, and handle everything in one object. This, let's call this door. We have frame. Okay. So Vesna, which version of Rayclon you have? The latest one. I don't have the latest one because I'm retired now, so my money income is not as used to be. So I didn't update my license, but never mind. I have the closest one. So you have the Rayclon with spline operators, right? Yes, with this one. Okay, great. Then we are good. Okay, and we're going to slice it because I know you don't like the Rayclon slice operator, and that's why we have created a slicer script, and this will help us to slice everything in nice matter, and then I will show you how everything is working. So let me show you. We'll add some other, let's say, some boxes. Right? Just to show you something about script, right? Okay. So let's begin with slicing, right? So I will remove this. Okay, I will clear this completely. So what we are need to slice. We need to slice this part and this part. So we'll add it in our script. So we'll add frame and we'll add door. So we have frame and door. So pay attention to this object manager list. So we put these two objects in the list, and from now on the script will control everything about these two objects in slice type tab. We have pivot tab, we have measure tab, and we have validate tab. Validate is just to check is everything okay, and maybe some automatic repairs about measurement or slicer or something like this. What's important for us are this slice, pivot, and measure maybe. Let's first go with pivots, right? In pivot tab, auto isolate list. This button will do like this one. So we have selected our models and you do auto isolate. So this is basically this button, but it will isolate everything we have in this list. So you can check this one on, and now you see only your they are frozen. That should be frozen. One, yeah, three. Great. They're frozen. Why? Because sometimes you will need to snap on something or and not to pick the wrong model, or to mess up with your basic models. So usually I go with this, like this. Okay, so let's go to the pivots. Now you can move your pivots position just by selecting either here, and the pivots will be working only on this model. So yes, you see something is on off always. The list have his own auto isolate mode. So if you select only frame, it will show you just the frame. If you set the door, it will show you the door. If you check all, it will pick up all in your list. So you can quickly go with page up, page down, home, to go through the list. For the pivots, you have options, to pick it in the viewport. See, you can select everything. But the pivot will be managed only on the model from the list. So you can go to center, so the bottom center, and it will go bottom center of this one, bottom center of this part, but it will not work on all others model in the viewport, even though they are selected. So the pivots are operating only on the model in the list. The same thing is with slicer. The measure is something different. Okay, so let's go check and place the pivots on the right position. So we can go to isolate, so we don't have problems. Basically, we need to put pivot on our desired position. We can do on manually, and usually I place pivot on the center of the hinge rotation, right? So for easier work, we'll select all, so both of our object, and we'll check this one, unified pivot. So when we check this one, we'll go with one pivot for all objects in our scene. And let me go and show the edges and go over here. So maybe go to the bottom of complete model, right? We are done with pivot. Let me check materials. How did you separate material? So the frame has its own material, right? The door has his own. The door has something like, yes, because the hinge and the knob had his own, the door has on, everything was with on material, but this is not the problem. When you select in the list, you just hit consolidate material. This is also good for Raycon users. And now we have one multi-sub material. You see, we go to the frame. The frame has multi-sub material, even though it's just the frame. He doesn't need these two materials, but because the Raycon likes the all material in one multi-sub object, so I create small script inside this script to consolidate all material. So you just use this material on Raycon object. So this is also good for Raycon. So back to the slice. We have, okay, you got this, the list, the freeze and everything. Yeah, okay. Now we are going to slice it everything. You can add the X, Y, Z slicer, see? So on anything you selected, you can make, you can create the slice plane, right? So if you select all, you notice when I generate planes, let's say one for each, and on that I will leave it 2, that generate plate. So I have one for each, I have one for frame, X and Y, and 2 for on Z, and 1 for door. And when I go and preview, so 1 for door, for frame. You see how it's separated everything. And we go for it's still a work in progress. Let me go and restart the script. So you see how easy, and you can check everything. Is everything okay? Just with preview. In the planes to show you something more. There is option, if you select everything, to check apply to group box. this is the bounding box. So the script will calculate bounding box of everything you selected. So this is nice example that bounding box can be useful. And when you generate the planes, let's say for 2 planes for each side, so generate the planes, it will go with same plane on same position based on bounding box. So you don't have different positions on the frame, but we still have the each plane. We still have the plane for each object, right? They're just generated on evenly, right? Unevenly based on bounding box, so based on this bounding box. Moving the planes, so we can move the planes for each of the object. Now we can go check just for the door. We don't need Y for the door, so we will hide Y. So we just need X and Z for the door. Let me check the preview. He saw one knife outside because we hide the Y, and one is outside the model, and we'll delete both of Y. We don't need them. So you see, we cut the door, right? Let's go back. Let me show you something. If we go with apply, so sometimes you want, for better cutting, you want both plane for the door and the frame to be in same position, either by X, Y, Z. So if you check select on position, when you select any of slice plane, it will sell all the plane on Z which are on the same Z location, so you can move together. So this will be this checkbox that will pick up. If you go and pick up, I don't know, this one, it will also pick up the other one. You don't need to go on arrow to move it up and down. You just pick up the object, the plane, size plane anywhere in space, and you can move it, right? Okay, you got this so far. Great. Yeah, you can use it. You can select by, like, usually with control, like this. Yes, and you said click with control, and you will say, you will select both of them. Yeah, you can even copy with shift, so you can select this one. This is for frame, right? So we have frame, opacity. You can set the outline color. You can choose either you need outline or you don't need outline. So this is something just for viewport options, right? Thickness of the outline. Yeah. Let's hide this and this. So you can pick up the slice plane, and you go with shift, and you can copy. Everything will will be included in slicing, right? So anything you see with preview, you can slice the current preview, right? Okay. So back on slicing mode. So even when you check this one, you can set the gap. So you will visually have the patterns ending, and you can set this gap individually for each. So let's go with door. For door, I will place 10. And for frame, place 15. Go with this. We go with 15. We just reset again. Okay. The preview. Reset 15. We don't have this. Let's go back to preview. Something like this. And you just check the key pivots, this one. And when you check it, all the pivots will remain in place. If you uncheck it, all the pivots will be in center of the objects, but you know the rank one like pivots. So this. So let's finish the slicing positions. This. This here. Here. You don't need to be extremely precise. You just need to place them on right position. So for the door frame, we need to have all three. Let me just check where we're going with Y. So it creates for a moment with Z and X. So for white, you see the situations. For white, I will go here. Probably go here. So this part will be our default, because this needs to be fixed and this needs to be fixed in size, right? We don't change much this thickness, but this will go with our wall thickness. So the best option is when we are cutting to cut closest to this part and closest to this fixed part, so we can go with smallest size for wall thickness, you know. So if you go for 1 centimeter, you just have from this one to this, and then we'll control the small walls. Okay, and let's go with unhide all of this and preview it. Okay. Let me show you one more thing. Let me try to do something this just to show you. add this one to the script and just show you this one. And I will add that. But sometimes we go with this position. I will go just with Y, so I will hide X, Z, and try to preview. Okay, this one is cut, let's say okay, but you see this surface jumps to this part, and it's not the part of this middle one, and it's not logical, and we want to this surface belong to this slice, right? So for these issues, and Max always has this issue, you just pick up the slice plane and check this one, flip on. And now when you go with preview, it will flip this slice plane, and it will include this critical surface in this slice part, right? That's it. And the plane you flipped, it will have the red outline. You see the red outline. Okay. Yeah, you always had the issues with even simple slice in 3ds Max. You always have to nail somehow the surface so you have the clean cut. Now you just pick up, if you set the flip off to flip this side, now we'll have the issue on the other side, you see. This is the part of the surface we want to belong to this one. So you just go, pick this one, turn off the flip, preview, okay, the clean cut. Okay, great. Yeah, bravo me. That's pretty much it. So we have the slice position for your doors, and we'll now go to the ray clone and try to make the complete generator. But first, let me show you the measure tab. So you understand everything about pivot, right? Yes. Yeah, you can adjust pivot at the end if you forgot. Yeah, let's go with pivot, I don't know, over here. Right. Yes. I can center. And if I go to the slice and go, let's remove the box from slice algorithm, evaluate everything, select everything, and when I go with preview, it will slice from the pivots, right? Yes, it's always, you keep pivots, and it will always slice from the pivots outward, right? Yeah. So let's go back with pivots and use, I think if I use unified, it will select everything. Yes, it's always immediately select everything. I go with unified pivot. So basically, I select all the pivots at the same time and put them in one location. Yeah. So I'm picking all the pivots at the same time now. Yeah, basically I have the same position, 2 pivots, right? Let me show you. So if I go with individual, Here is one pivot, here is another pivot. Oh, one, another. Undo. Yes, I forgot to mention almost everything in the script is undoable. So you can just check the undo. It will work. Now we'll go to measure tab. Sorry for delay. I noticed that I used the old version of script, so I had to update the script. And let's go to measure tab. Sorry, Vesna. Thank you. So the measure tab, you can measure inside the object manager list, or you can check this ignore list button, and all object in the scene will appear, and you'll be able to get measure from anything and basically do annotation. Let me just go with edges and simply point and click to the vertices, and you can place the annotation with shift. You can select the orientation for the line, and the second one is position and orientation with control. You can rotate and basically place the text above on the center or below the line. If you hold shift or you measure, hold shift, you will take the from surface to surface like this. With alt you will be able to get, you just pick the surface, so you get this yellow line. It will be axis for offsetting the annotation. You have angle also, so from center, one line, another point, and you will get angle. Also the radius, 3-point radius, as usual, 1, 2, 3, and you'll be able to get the radius. And you can, you have 5 different sets, so you can do for, I don't know, 5 different cameras. You can make the 5 different sets. So let me do just a few more annotations over here. This one right here. The other one here. You can choose the with Alt or Shift. You can choose which size, on which side you want to offset based on the surfaces. So if you have something like this, which is not on any of common planes, so you can go with from this, but with Alt you can tell the annotation go parallel with this surface or go parallel with this. Just keep pressing Alt and then release, and you will see the yellow line is axis for this annotation. Okay, the right click will terminate the script. Is also new for me, so and you can edit later. So here you can go above. With shift you will flip, and with control you will rotate. So flip, you have all those settings over here. So let's say in center, and you can choose surface A or surface B. So this will be surface B, and if I choose surface A, he will go on this surface, and you can pull back, and that's it. And now you have the color. Let's place, I don't know, this in set 2, and I don't know, let's say, let's choose this one instead number 4. So you see every time we can activate isolate active. So the set we choose, it will be shown, the other one will be hidden. Okay, hide all set or show all sets. We have individual, so those are individual sets. So I can, even though we are in set with the red color, maybe I need to turn this to green color, so and make, I don't know, 90 degrees in center, just for this annotation. And this will be individual. But if I uncheck individual, it will get all the general settings below. Again, if I click individual, it will remember this annotation specifically, which settings are this annotation. We have text size. We have different styles for arrows, like vectoral, arrows inside, arrows outside, dots, and just the line. So I usually use engineering arrows. Okay, text size, marker size, thickness, text, line thickness. And you can set this as your default, because if you reset, it will take the default reset, like this one. But if you change something, let's say this, and if you use the reset but with Alt, then it will remember these settings. It will inform you. Sorry for a moment, I need to answer this. Yes, we're going to pause. Sorry, I had to take this phone call. I forgot the point. Okay, yeah, bounding box. So let's say you see this frame has different. It will be very difficult to find the surface that is straight, so you can draw the bounding box around this selected object, and this bounding box can be used for measurement, like this. So with shift you take this one, and I don't know, go to this surface. Okay, that will be pretty helpful if you need something like this. And the bounding box is on the selected items or multiple selected items, like this. Okay, and it can be presented like geometry or like line. Okay, with opacity, with okay, and yeah, any selected annotation will immediately get the results in this box, so you can copy and paste it for something in the processing rates on paddings or something else. So okay, you can bake everything, so you can bake all the annotation, and it will be baked on each set. So if you have anything in sets, it will be baked. It will skip the sets that there is no annotation. So let me see what we have. We have 1, 2. So in 3 we don't have annotation, or we don't have annotation. We take this one, place it in this way. We place it on 5. Okay. So we don't have nothing. Three, nothing. 2. Okay. So if I bake with Alt, I will bake only the active set. But if I just press the bake, like this one, it will ask me do I want to delete or to keep notation. For now I will keep it, yes. But and if I go outside the script, I will have this layer with baked annotation, and I will have 1, 2, and 5 because 3 and 4 didn't have any annotation inside. And basically this is it. One more thing about measurement. Measure will follow the changes in so with just to explain you this one. The measurement, so we can go here to here. It's new script for me too, so I will always hit the right button and I need to hit the left. And if I go with edit mesh and select, let's say I select this one, so the annotation will follow the any change in object, either it's moved or change. I think even rotation will follow, and maybe for some you will have to switch, let's say, to surface. and then we'll follow the surface, right? And that is pretty much it for validate. We'll just scan is there some warning. We have two knives outside the boundaries. That was probably Y on the door or in the box or something. Let's remove from the box. Yes, we have temporary layer for dimension or something like this, but this is just for validation and checking. Maybe you can select and repair, so one usually remove the annotation that doesn't have the source object or something like this. So now we can switch to the next subject, next theme, and to create this door in Rayclone, but we'll make a little pause here, and then we'll continue with Rayclone and style for this door. Okay? See you soon.